so sorry. You know, you try and do something and then there's like an update of stuff. It happened to me yesterday too. I went to go do something in a timely manner, and then right then and there, like my phone did some kind of update on whatever it was that I was trying to do. So I was trying to get in, and Facebook has a, hey Aaron, Facebook has a new thing you can do with your live. You know, and do you want to learn about it right now? And I'm like, no, maybe not right now. It's not the right time. Isabel, hi. So I'm so happy for you guys to come and hang out. I'm right out of the shower. One of the things I've been doing with my time has been to really try and commit more to my health. I see these memes of people who are you know, they're all cute in the, you know, the quarantine starts, and then they're much more round as the quarantine, you know, continues, and I don't want that to be me. So and I feel like I'm still already stuck from the places of we're still too close to that space between the holidays and, you know, before we get into summer. So so I upped my workout. I jumped up from the routine that I did to a higher routine. It's kicking my ass, but I'm grateful for it. And in full disclosure, I have yet to get all the way through it, but I can tap out. What is the Beachbody guys? They tap out and then they tap back in. So hi Linda. Hi Arthur, my girls. I am, so I tap out and then I come back in, but what I'm noticing is that the entire time it takes me to get through the workout is getting shorter, and the amount of time that I'm sitting on my butt tapped out is also shorter. So I really love the time that I come on Mondays to do cards of the week and to connect, but I think that there's just so much going on right now, and as more and more communities are locking down, thank God, we have people who are, Felice, gosh, you were in my dream last night. Oh, we'll have to talk about that. Hi, Harriet. Thank you all so much for coming to spend a few minutes. So what I'm noticing is that we've got people who are in different parts of the country that have already been locked down for 2 to 3 weeks, and other people who are just starting to lock down, and other places that are not locked down at all. And it's you know, it's a scary time. And I know for here in Florida, and I don't want to be too political, but here in Florida, I personally think that our governor is freaking useless, and I'm so delighted that our mayor decided that he would lock it down, and so we are locked down as of last night. It doesn't mean that we can't leave our houses. It just means that you can't go out for anything, you know, not essential. You can go get food. Aaron, I don't know what that means, and now I'm afraid. But it's really I think it's a good thing for the quarantines and for the locking down, but I know that it's a scary thing, and I know for a lot of people it's really, really frustrating. I know that a lot of people don't know what's going to happen, and I'm grateful to see that the Congress did the right thing and they passed the stimulus package. I have no idea how the heck we're going to pay for it, but I know that it's what's needed, and I'm grateful for that. But I really want to take a minute to really address a couple of things, because I think that it's so important that we are having a place to express our anger and our frustration. And I say this all the time, if you follow me at all, I say this all the time. They're the people who are, you know, if you look at this page and you look at my personal page, it looks like I'm bipolar, because I come here and it's very much, you know, trust in the universe, believe in the light, and I believe in that with all of my heart. I do. But then at the same time, I will read the news, and then I'll go over to my personal page and be like, ah, you know. So and it's okay, because it's really important that we have a place that we can vent. And so for those of us who are dealing with anger and frustration, it's really important that you allow those feelings. There is a grief that's part of this, and it's really important that we allow those feelings, that we are allowing ourselves to feel what we need to feel, and that we're respecting that we can feel what we need to feel, and to really be and not be ashamed for those for that. And so for a lot of people, there's a level of anchor. You know, I look at my son who's going to graduate college, and all the kids that are in that same boat, whether it's high school or college or graduate school or whatever, and the things that have been taken away from them that would come after that graduation, or the things that lead up to that graduation, my heart breaks for them. My heart breaks for the people who are losing jobs and don't know what's going to happen. And so many places that are saying, we're going to come back, we're going to come back, we're going to hire you back, you know, it's temporary. And I applaud those. But so whatever it is that you are feeling right now, I really want to encourage you in that. I in my in my Mary Kay world, I'm doing skincare and makeup tutorials. So it's odd to me to see myself in the camera without any kind of makeup on, because I almost never do that, but it's making me laugh. So it's really important to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, and we don't have to apologize to anybody for that, and we don't have to explain it, because I guarantee you that whatever it is that you are feeling, there are others that are feeling the same way. So the one thing that I do want to encourage you to do is to make use of the time. I know that there are some people who are just sitting and lamenting and whining and moaning, and if that's your choice, then I respect it. But we have the opportunity to do something different, and when we can stop and listen, we can hear such magical things. I'm so incredibly blessed that I volunteer at a park that's currently closed to the public, but we were invited to spend some time there and be part of just enjoying the nature. And it was silent. And because I volunteer, this is a very popular place to go, especially in summer, it was so quiet. And there was no birds, and there was no cicadas, and it was just absolutely amazing to be in the, I don't want to say the stillness, but it was in the quiet, because you could literally watch the wind coming down the water coming along the stream, and you could literally watch the trees kind of doing the wave, like at a stadium the trees were doing a wave, while they were really absorbed in the wind, and they were catching the wind, and you could just hear it and see it, and it was just absolutely magical. And I want to tell you that even if you're under the quarantine and you're in the lockdown, which you all should be, so hopefully you all are, stay home, stay safe, and you're not being secluded and sequestered, and you're not being punished, but we are being kept safe. And there is so much to be gained from this if we can have a little bit of patience, and if we can allow ourselves to invest in it. Hi, Karen. Hi, everyone. Oh my goodness, so many people. Yay. If we can allow ourselves to invest in this, and if we can see it as an opportunity and not as a punishment. So the first thing I want to tell you is to take a minute to come outside. And I know, don't go away. Just step outside into the grass, okay? If you are somewhere where you have grass, now if you're in an apartment or condo and you don't have grass, stay inside. But if you have a single family home or a duplex and you can safely walk out your front door, and it's not, freezing in Minnesota or Manitoba or something like that, if you can walk outside and just put your feet in the grass and breathe, it makes a humongous difference. And what I want to tell you is when I do, I put my palms face down and I put my palms to the earth. Hi, Kelly from Colorado. I put my palms to the earth, and I really allow like a shower of the divine light to come down on my head, and to just like being rinsed from the shower, being rinsed from the rain of divine light, and anything that does not serve my highest and best purpose, I allow it to just run down my arms and out my palms and back into Mother Earth, because she knows what to do with it, and she's going to be taking that energy and she's going to clean it and use it as fertilizer and nourish the earth. And so I know a lot of people are doing walks. They're going out on a walk, which is fantastic. Kelly, that's awesome that you're doing that. I know my parents have been walking, and they've got a great 2-mile walk in their neighborhood, and I see people doing things like putting teddy bears and scavenger hunt, like stuffed animals and things in the windows, which I think is amazing. What a fun idea if you're out walking the dog or out walking with the kids, just to get outside and get some fresh air. I think that is so fantastic. But do take some time to just be in the silence and enjoy that feeling of the light from above flowing into you to fill you with love and to release everything that does not serve your highest and best purpose, and allow it to come out the palm chakras and fertilize the earth, because the earth needs healing and the earth needs fertilizing right now. Our stay-at-home challenge thing. Yes, so Kelly, absolutely right. So we're not being punished. We're not being stuck at home. We're being safe at home. And that is so the truth, because, and we were watching some video last night of things we didn't even think about, that when the groceries come into the house, we need to wipe off the outside of the groceries or take out containers and things like that. Who would have ever thought of those things? But of course, if the person stocking the shelves at the grocery store was had been compromised and didn't know it, we want to make sure we're not bringing those things into our house. So the other thing I want to talk about is taking the opportunity to look for the blessings, but also to allow the enrichment. So this is Mother Earth's, she has had enough. And people in my community, the psychics, the mediums, and the people who, especially the astrologers are having a field day right now, because all the astrologers are going, we told you this was coming. They all saw it coming, but nobody wanted to listen. This is Mother Earth saying, we have had enough. We have had the rise of these major hurricanes and typhoons. We have seen the forest fires in Brazil and in Australia. We have seen all of this, massive change of Mother Earth saying, this is not okay. Something is not okay. We are not okay. And even though, there's lots of different finger pointing about where this started and how this started, and no, it's not a Chinese virus just because it started in China, and no, we're not, having any of those other things that are going on. We're all in this together. And if this is the one lesson that we can learn from this crisis, is this is one planet with a whole lot of people, and we are all in this together. And Mother Earth has really just had it up to here with us and our inward, and it is really time to open up our eyes and more to open up our hearts. And so this is an incredible time, an incredible opportunity for us to really take some time to look and listen. And so if you can get outside and walk and get in the trees and, get your feet in the grass, bare feet. We have chakras. I know most of you are probably familiar with the 7 chakras that we have. We have the 8th chakra up here with the chakras that we have, but we have chakras all through our bodies. We have chakras in our palms and in our fingertips, and we have chakras in our feet, and we have chakras all through our body. And allowing those things to really connect with yourself, your heart, or a tree. And so for me, if you follow me at all, I love touching the trees. So you want to put your non-dominant hand. So I'm left-handed. So for me, it's my right hand. Is your dominant hand sends energy out, and your non-dominant hand brings energy in. So you have the opportunity to put your hand on the tree, and I try and look for somewhere where there might be a knot or some kind of a wound in the bark that you can put, because that's where energy is going to come out more. And I just breathe that in, because the trees are so wise, and they are so powerful and so beautiful with their energy, and they are so healing. The leaves, the chlorophyll, and the photosynthesis, they clean the air, but they clean us too. Okay, they clean us too. And yeah, I know there are some times where they just are killing us with the allergies. I have literally 5 oak trees in my front yard. You would not believe the pollen count on my front walkway, but they still clean us too. So they clean us, they clean the air. Hi, Kyria. So it is so important that we take that time to go out there, but then we need to take time to come in. And so this is an unbelievable time to really look at, Erin Allman, you're so funny. This is an unbelievable time to really look at, what would I do if I knew I could not fail? What have I always wanted to do? So for me personally, like I said, when we started, I really am excited that I've cranked up my exercise routine. And even though I'm still having issues with my knee, to be able to have a low impact exercise machine that is an exercise routine that's totally kicking my ass. And at the same time, to really look at what are the things that, I always, if I ever had time, this is what I would do. So for me, I have some online classes that I have. I literally have 2 pairs of headphones going on right now. So I have online classes that I had signed up for, I had purchased, and never had the time to. John Graceffo as I live and breathe. Oh my goodness. Mwah. So online classes that I have never had the opportunity to take, that they're sitting there in my email box. I have a file that's called Read Me, which is when I have time, I will read. And so I am loving catching up on these online classes, catching up on books. You know, go back and I'm rewatching Downton Abbey because I want to watch the movie, and I really love Downton Abbey, but I only saw it once, so we've been taking some time with that. And there is a book in me, and so there is that that opportunity to finally sit down and start that process of the outline. And then there's also books outside of me, which is like stacks and stacks of books, and my Kindle is like full completely. So there is so much opportunity in this if we will allow it. And the other thing is that there's also so much blessing. There is so much blessing. And so every day, even though I get up and I look at the news and I go, oh, after that, I try to really spend the rest of my day looking for the blessings. And so I've been looking for those blessings. And so for me here, there is, hi Tracy, hi Jill. So for me here, there is, my boys are home. My boys are home from college, and I love that they're home. They may not love it so much, but I love that they're home. And I'm watching them spend time together, because they are really kind of all they've got. They've got their other buddies on FaceTime and, you know, on the Xbox, and they play, and I love listening to them. I love listening to them chatter with each other and play video games and share. This is the first time my boys have been home together where there hasn't been squabbles. So I'm loving that part of it. I love that we're having dinners together because no one has anywhere to go. When they were both in high school, they had activities and jobs, and they went and they went and they went. And I love that they're all here together. We're here together. We've been watching movies together. We have been, the other day, my older son is taking a film class for his last semester of college, and he needed to watch the 1920 version of The Mark of Zorro with Douglas Fairbanks Jr. It's a black and white silent film, and we watched it on the couch together. We had a blast. And just the opportunity to share that time with my boys and to share that time with my husband. We've been meditating together in the morning. He does his, I do mine. We have different focus, but to have that. There are projects being done around my house that we have talked about for years. So the screens got fixed. So my dog Buddy, who's the really big black one, just keeps chasing the squirrels and running right through the screen. So we got the screens fixed so we can have the door open with the beautiful weather. We're getting the patio fixed so that, and my husband and my son are doing the paint to fix the patio deck. We're putting in a garden. We have been talking about putting in a garden for years. So all of these amazing things that are happening. There are blessings that are coming from this. We are, you know, so grateful to be in a position where we have choices. And so, you know, as people are starting to look at, can they get their mortgages, I don't remember the word, pushed back, or can they get their rent payments pushed back? We've been making donations, small donations, but still, to arts organizations and artists that we love, people that we are watching all these Facebook Lives, that amazing artists that we love and want them to succeed and stay afloat. We've been able to send them small donations. We've been able to support local restaurants, you know, with a meal here and there with the people that we want to keep those restaurants in our neighborhood. We've been able to be a blessing to other people, and at the same time, these blessings are coming into us as well. And I'm looking at these things that, you know, we're looking at our finances like I know everyone is right now. Where can we take this and make lemonade? So I think, for example, if we can push our mortgage back and skip a month, I would be able to use that money, one, to make sure we can stay afloat longer, but two, take some of that money and pay down debt, which would also help us stay afloat longer. So where can we be strategic about the things that are going on? And Alex, and you just missed me talking about supporting arts organizations, and Marshall's going to be one of them. And just being able to look and think strategically about where can we be a blessing to others. We have neighbors who I adore. She is less than a year year out from completing her radiation from breast cancer treatment, and he has lung issues, I believe. And so and both in their 60s, cannot go to the grocery store. And so yesterday we went, hey, I'm going to the grocery store. What do you need? And so they brought over the money to pay for the groceries when we left those on their doorstep, but also a lovely bottle of wine. Please be reaching out to your neighbors who may not be able to get out. Perhaps they have tiny children and they can't take the child to the grocery store and there isn't anyone for them to leave the child with, or if they're older and they can't get to the store. Because even though the stores are offering, you know, early hours for our people that are of a certain age, not everybody can take advantage of that. And so if you have people around you, this is a time to ask and to introduce yourself. I remember in all the places that I've lived, and I have lived a lot of places, we always knew our neighbors because my husband was always gone. And I didn't ever like the idea of being alone in my house with two little boys where I didn't know my neighbors in case of a bug or a mouse, or in the case of our current situation, Susie and baby snakes. Or I didn't, you know, if there was something that, like a jar that needed to get opened. Nowadays, my kids, being that they're home from college, you know, I have these giant men in my house. But knowing your neighbors, it made me feel safer in my environment. And we've gotten away from that. Now, me personally, still know all my neighbors, but we've gotten away from that as a society. And I think that it's so important, and this is such a wonderful time to connect and to really allow the blessings of this to come in. Now, I'm not ever going to try and belittle what's going on or in any way, shape, or form. Please hear my heart. We are going to lose people. We're already losing people, and it is saddening and heart crushing. And there's nothing more frustrating to those of us left behind than pointless loss and feeling that we've lost people for no good reason, or especially when we feel that we've lost people before their time. As a medium, I will tell you a couple of things. One, they're fine. I promise you they're fine. Even though there's days when it's hard for me to remember that, and I need to remind my own self that they're fine. And that we make these agreements with our soul families before we even come to incarnate. So the agreements that I have made with my soul family were agreed to before my parents were even born, and even before that. So there is so much opportunity that we're going to have for love and loss in this process. And as far as for the United States, I know we're not even halfway there. We're not even halfway there. But I feel like in a month, things are going to look very, very different. And what they're going to look like, I'm not quite sure yet. But I feel like in a month, things are going to look very different. And so I did want to just come and open some time today to welcome you and to ask if there's questions, if there's comments, if there's something I can say that will help you have a better understanding that this is going to be okay. It won't be the same. And there's a difference. It won't be the same, but it will be okay in the end. And it is beyond the time for our society and our humanity to continue our evolution and move to those next states and those next levels of really understanding that we are all one human race. We are not these and thems and those, okay? We are all together. And that love is the language of the universe, and that love is going to be the thing that wins the day. So for me, I really just wanted to open. So if you have a comment or a question, or if you just wanted to say hi, I just wanted to bring a little light today. I am going to pull a card because I feel like it's really important for us to stay, to believe. I really feel like as a psychic medium, there's so much stuff that I can tell you, and there's so much information that, when we sit down, that I can give you. But one of the things I absolutely love about the Oracle cards is the tangibility of the information that allows that logical part of our left brain to let us lean in, okay? So it's so important that we have something that we can lean on, right? And now that song, Lean on Me, in my head, that we have that something we can lean on, because the thing that we lean on is each other. So even though right now we can't be together, we can still be together. We can still lean on each other. Cindy's right. Love is everything. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these, and I want to pull out a card. But if you have a question or there's something you want to share, please feel free, because I just absolutely love our community of light. And I'm watching all these people come in and go out. And thank you so much for spending some time with us today. And I just want to encourage you again to look for the blessings, because there are so many. Yeah, I know there's trials and tribulations and shifts that are going to come from this, and change that's going to come from this. And we are not a race of people that embraces change. For the most part, the human race is not a group of people that embraces change wildly. We don't go, bring it on. We are not those people. And so it's really important that we understand that right now, this is change, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing. And when you believe, if you believe, like I do, that all things work together for good, the universe always has your back, and all things do work together for good, then this will be okay. So I have this thing, it's in my shopping cart on Amazon, because Amazon right now is not delivering anything that's not essential, and I totally understand that, and I respect that decision. I really thought that was a good move on their part. But I have this thing in the cart, and I didn't forget the cards, but I have this thing in the cart for, save for later at this point. It's a game my kids played when they were little. It was like, I need something, I don't know. It was like a board. It was like a board. It was like a black, not a blackboard, but it was a blackboard that was that had magnets in it. And so on top of it, then we had this whole set of gears, and the gears were magnetized. And the idea was that you would connect the gears in all different ways, and some spin this way and they spin this way. And there was a crank on one side, and you would turn the crank, and if you lined up the gears correctly, this one would spin, this one would spin, this one would spin, this one, and it would go all the way around, take up the whole board, and then at the end it would ring a bell. Okay, so if you did it correctly, and then the kids would play with it for hours, and they would put the magnets on the refrigerator and all the things. But if it didn't ring the bell, or they turned the crank and it went they knew they had to make some adjustment to get the gears to line up. Because when they're not, and if you've ever ridden a bicycle that has gears, like a 10 speed or 20, they have 20 speeds now, like if you don't get the chain in the gear, it's like, okay. If you don't get the gears to line up, then things are difficult, and they're crunchy, and they're not smooth. But when you get the gears to line up, then it just rolls. The bicycle moves, the crank turns, and everything rolls along smoothly. That doesn't mean that process of getting it there was easy, but in the end, it was worth it, and it was smooth. So that's where we are right now. There's a lot of crunchy that's going on. There's a lot of, the universe is trying to line up those gears and really trying to figure out, okay, I have to move this sprocket a little bit and move that sprocket a little bit and get it where they can, okay, now they line up, now we can turn. So this is what's going on in the universe right now. And so there's a lot of suckiness about it, but at the same time, hi Alex, but at the same time, there's so much blessing in it. We only ever hear about the suckiness. We only ever hear about the crap, because what is that news saying? If it bleeds, it leads, right? So we have to look harder to find the good news. We have to look harder to find the blessings. And so that's really what I want to encourage you to do, is to take some time and really connect with Mother Earth. Allow that white light to come down and release anything that doesn't serve you. Connect with the earth, connect with the trees, take that walk, get into the quiet. When you've had some time in the outside, come and spend some time in the inside. Feel your heart, hear your heart. What is it that you would do if you had all the time in the world that you never had time to do, that now you have the time to do? What could you use this time for? What could you use this time to create? Can you create a book? Can you create a craft project? I literally just was talking to my son about maybe making a photo book with his pictures. He's a budding photographer. He's amazing. And really, what could we do with his pictures? That would be a project that he could do. What is the thing that you said, if I ever had a whole bunch of time, this is the thing I would do? Now is the time. But take that conscious effort every single day to look at, where are the blessings in this horror show of a disease where it is all going to be sadness, if we let it. Where can we find the blessings? Is it the neighbors helping neighbors? Is it the guy in Italy leading an aerobics class from the roof across from all the balconies? Is it people playing catch on across the street, or is it I remember when we were kids, we had the soup cans with the string, and yeah, I know everyone's got a phone nowadays, but where are the places that we can connect with each other that we have been overlooking because we were so busy? So there are blessings in this if we are willing to take the time to listen. And so I'm just going to pick a card. So this is the card that I picked. It says Leap. So this is from Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle card. Sorry, I had to look at the box and it was upside down. And I absolutely love these cards. I think they're so incredibly beautiful. But it says leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. The universe will catch you. Hi, Marcia. The universe will catch you. You guys, it really is so much about trusting the universe, about trusting what we're being, not what we're being given, but where we're being led. Okay. When we are, if we just accept everything that comes, then we are lemmings, right? And we have no power to think for ourselves, and that's not who we are. We absolutely have the power to think for ourselves, and we should. But it isn't about accepting what we're given, but it is about doing something with it. And so one of the things that I teach my clients that I work with all the time is the 3 questions. And if you've been with me for any kind of time, you've heard me talk about the 3 questions a whole bunch of times. So the first question is this mine? Okay, is this mine? Do I have the power to fix this problem? Okay, so right now we've got coronavirus. We have the power to help. We can't fix it necessarily. We're not the doctors. We can't make the vaccines, but we can help. We can stay home. We can self-quarantine. We can do all the things that we can do to protect ourselves and those around us. So we have some power, okay, but we don't have the power to fix the big problem, okay? Sorry, I got my questions all in reverse. Is this mine? The first question is it mine? Is it mine? So outside of the coronavirus situation, to look at whatever it is that's going on, is this mine? And so in every situation, there's the opportunity for us to look at, like with people who are losing their jobs or people who are losing their health insurance, we may not have the power to fix it. It may not be ours to fix. It may be part of their soul plan that they came here to experience. Remember, we all come here with that shopping list of things before we're even born, of what our soul wants to experience. So is this my problem? Do I have the power to fix it? And then the third one is really the most important. Did anybody ask me to fix it? And so we have the opportunity to make change in our world and to bring light, but we need to use discretion about where we choose to jump in and where we choose to leave. So when it comes to offering assistance to your neighbors, or putting bears in your window, or staying home and not going out to the beach or whatever, these are great places where we can make a difference to what is going on around us in a safe way, and we can be the leaders. It is so important that we take this idea of leap in every place. Is this my problem? If it is, if it's something that's happening to you, where can you use that? How can you use that to leap into a new lease on life, or a new fabrication of life? What can you create from, like the phoenix from the ashes? What is it that you can lift up out of the crisis that we're in and create something new and beautiful that will be of help and assistance and blessing to others? Okay, if it is, do you have the power to fix it? Let's see. Could you, again, do something, offer a helping hand, be polite, share the toilet paper? What can you do that you can, if you have the power, that you can bring light and blessing to someone else? And the third, did anybody ask? And so to be really careful about that, because I think right now especially, it's very, very easy for us to get sucked into the noise. We can so easily get sucked into the noise of the negativity, and guilty as much as anybody else. But it's really important that we are taking that time to say, where can I leap? If I don't have the power to fix it and nobody asked me to fix it, okay, so right now the thing with the stimulus bill, I don't have the power to fix it. Nobody asked me to fix it. I'm not going to focus my attention there. I'm going to be grateful for that, and I'm going to move on. Okay, so where can we use this idea of leap, where we are allowing ourselves to get out of this box that might very well be the 4 walls of our house? Okay, We are not trapped. We are not imprisoned. We are safe at home, and we are safe in our minds. And more importantly, we are safe in the hands of the universe. We are simply watching in real time the cogs of the universe shift and click and groan together to create something magnificent that will come. But we can't see what it is and what that magnificence is going to look like until we get to the other side of it and we can turn around and look back. The analogy was given to me years ago about the tapestry, about this beautiful tapestry that you could see we couldn't see the front of, this beautiful picture. If you've ever looked at a needlepoint or a tapestry or anything like that, on the front it's this beautiful, beautiful piece of art, and on the back it's a holy mess of threads going everywhere and stuff crisscrossing and knots and tie-offs and all kinds. That's a holy mess. But when we look at it from our perspective of the humans, we're looking at it like this. And so we're looking up at the back of the tapestry. But God and the angels and our loved ones, those in spirit, they're all looking down at this beautiful tapestry. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. The universe knows what it's doing. Mother Earth knows what she's doing. And again, I say the astrologers are all like, we told you this is coming. So there is a place for trust. And there is so much place for love to walk forward on this new path, safe at home, from love rather than from the anger and the frustration. But if you're feeling the anger and the frustration, as we said in the beginning, please respect it. Please reach out to a friend. We're here to help. Punch a pillow, throw a dance party, turn on the music really, really loud. Yesterday I was in the car with my kids and they're playing death metal, melodic death metal. I still don't really know what that means, but and we were just jamming out and just allowing your emotions to be what they are, because I guarantee you whatever you're feeling, someone else is feeling it. We're not done yet. We're probably not even halfway with the explosion of this virus in the United States, but there will be a peak and then there will be a decline, and we will get back to life. It will never be the same. It will always be different. The dogs are great, but there will be something, and there will be a new normal. And so I just encourage you with all of my heart to believe in the power of the universe and leap into something good. Allow yourself to hear and to see the blessings, and to allow yourself to believe that there are blessings. Spend more time looking for the blessings than for the remote control. Yeah. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me today. If I can be of assistance or service to any of you, please know I am so here to help with all my heart. You could just text me or message me and we can have a chat, and whatever I can do to support you during this time. And just remember, this too shall pass. The universe always has a plan. I love you so much.